Douglas Taurel, The American Soldier.
And you wrote this play as well,
I
correct?
did. I did.
What would you like audiences to take away from this play?
The extreme service and sacrifice that many people make for us. That's that's the important thing. For people who have no connection to the military, that there are many people on the front lines and what it means for a family to serve or to have their siblings or their offspring serving.
Did you serve in the military?
No, I did not.
In watching this play, and I've seen a lot of plays about veterans and been doing a lot of work with veterans, this play struck me very differently than anything else I've ever seen. It actually made me think of a mass manipulation of young men by the powers that be, because you're being asked to obey words that I cannot even, they're said so briskly and so fast. How people understand them. Did you ever feel that when writing this play?
No, not really. No. I never really focus on whether war is bad or whether war is good. I only focus on the humanity and what it means for people to serve and have served and continue to serve. That's really what my focus was, not on any deeper point of manipulation or whether we should be at war, should we have a military or not. My thing is really about the humanity of people serving and the cost that's constantly being given.
No, the reason I'm asking this is because you're asked to obey without question. You're basically dehumanized. And so how can you come back from something like this not broken?
Well, I mean, those are really deep questions, but I mean, if you're trying to if we're trying to ask why we go to war, I mean, war has been going on since the beginning of man.
No, I'm trying to figure out how do we save the people that have gone or that will go.
Well, the main thing is what's starting to happen now is they're starting to talk. Mm-hmm. You know, before they didn't talk, and before, like one of my characters says, it was a stigma. You know, you're considered weak. But now, you know, the bigger powers to be, even Navy SEALs, Green Berets, generals, they've found value in talking about their experience and talking about the play. And now it's become, you're seeing a lot of vets with a lot of extreme combat, you know, writing stories, writing books, you know, telling stories. Jocko's got a podcast where all he does is talk about the stories and the experiences that him and other veterans from many conflicts have gone through. And so that's starting to shed. You know, interesting, in World War II, we had a decompression program where soldiers from the Second World War would come and get decompressed. And it was really successful. And for some reason, the federal government got rid of it. And no one knows why. I don't know why.
And that would be asking, why did we have Agent Orange and did they lie about it?
Yeah, you're going into very deep questions, you know, kind of more political questions. And what I've always tried to focus on in the play is not the political aspect of the play, because you can spin yourself in many different directions on the politics of the play, or the politics, not of this play, but the politics of war. And I've always just tried to focus on, there are men and women who are serving, men and women who are dying, and men and women who come back and have a hard time coming back, and then that we should understand that. And if you see a Vietnam vet an old Vietnam veteran with a Vietnam hat, or to go up to him, buy him a cup of coffee, thank him, because you don't know what his story is and you don't know what his experiences are. And what's been true since the beginning, from the revolution, from the Minutemen, that whenever the country has needed men and women to stand up and to serve, there's always been a line. There's always been a line. And that was true in the Revolutionary, when farmers were running to serve after Concord, and they're serving to fight the British. And that was true after 9/11. That was true in Afghanistan. That was true in Vietnam in the beginning, and that was true after 9/11. There was a line of people who were serving. And
Do you think that there would be a line now? Because I don't.
I do think so. I mean, it all depends where you're coming from, right? I mean, if you live somewhere, if you live in the heartland of America, you're probably going to serve. which tends to be the people who end up serving are the kids and the families from the heartland of America. Like the Lucys, they're from a small town in New England, and so I mean there's a lot of patriotism still left in the country. So
That's nice to hear, actually, but
I think so.
I see it diminishing somehow.
I do too. I think the biggest problem about that is that we don't teach it.
Exactly.
We don't teach it.
Oh, we teach the opposite.
Yeah, and so, we don't teach patriotism to kids, and they don't even know when World War I was, or when World War II was, or when Vietnam was.
Right.
And when I've shared the play with kids, they've absolutely loved it. I mean, they've just been over the moon over it. And so...
well, we like to erase our history somehow.
Well, I just, again, it's another...
Sorry,
layer.
I like deep questions.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you can go into deep, but I mean, you can blame the education system. They're not teaching kids anymore. I mean, when I was a kid, we learned World War II.
Oh, yeah.
We studied
We did
everything.
You mentioned 30,000 as the amount of people that have committed suicide.
It's actually more.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, because I've been working a lot with Camp for Heroes and Pure Talk and all the veteran organizations, and this has been the biggest problem. From writing your play and from saying what you have said, what would you say is a way to combat this problem?
Of suicide?
Yeah. Because
Well,
it's a phenomenon.
I don't know if it's a phenomenon, but there are many things that contribute to it, but I mean, I think the most important thing is that that we talk about it, and
Absolutely.
that society recognizes our servicemen. I mean, one of the things that I've talked to a lot of veterans and what they've shared with me is they get very upset when people don't understand what their service is. It's kind of one reason why I put the character, the soldier in the shadow, right? They don't really understand. They feel like no one knows, and so they feel neglected, and they feel like, what's the point? No one even cares.
Right.
And so I think, the Greeks were in war for over 800 years. Native Americans fought, and these cultures understood what combat was, and you had to kind of decompress your warriors.
Right.
And their society held them up as superheroes in a way, right? And
They were gods.
they were gods, exactly. And that's the whole war horse, and then the Cherokees were amazing, and that's why equine therapy comes out of there, and it's really, I think a lot of vets feel like society just moves on, and that's a problem. And how do we combat that? I don't know, but I think my point with the play is really why I wrote it, is I want Americans to understand when we say thank you for your service, what that means. So you can be in New York, as we both know, New York can be very jaded, and know that there's actually people right now stationed who could have the same political beliefs as you are, but who are serving.
Right.
And it's important for us to understand that and to cherish that, because it is, cliche as it is, they will die for the country, and they will spill their blood for the country, and they will defend their country, and many of them want to do that, and we have to respect that, and we have to
I
honor
do.
that.
Again, tell us the name of the play and how long it's playing and where it's playing.
Thank you. I'm Douglas Taurel. It's The American Soldier, and it performs until December 21st.